Hello, air signs. This is going to be your air trine elemental. So, this is a reading for all air signs: Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising for June 2019. This is a general reading, and the messages will not resonate with everyone. You might want to check the other elementals to see maybe if it's your moon or your rising sign, if that may speak more to you. Um, since it's general, it's not going to speak direct. It may not speak directly to you, so that requires a personal reading. You can simply click on the I right here in the corner. That will take you over to the website. I have several packages. Please, if you go over, sign up for the newsletter. I had to cancel my open discussion meeting, uh, but I'm going to be rescheduling that, so you'll get that notification through the newsletter. So, sign up for the newsletter. It's free, doesn't cost you anything. Um, let's see. I can't believe we're moving into the second week of June 2019. Can you believe that? We're going to be doing a presidential election here in a few months. That's crazy. So, with that being said, I'm going to be using the Prisma Visions Tarot. I have several different clarifier cards here because I'm not exactly sure what it's going to be talking about, and we'll see what clarifiers will want to step forward as I move through the reading. I will show you the cards, give you the impressions, the energetic impressions, and then I'll read you the meanings of the cards. So I've already done a bit of shuffling on your sign. Oh, and website members, both the individual romance and the actual individual readings are already posted on the website. I hope you got the article that came out yesterday, and read both of them. Oh, for those of you who were having issues logging in, I think we got that issue corrected, so you can try logging in. If you are not able to access the, because there is something wrong with the SSL settings on the site. So somebody was saying they were having trouble logging in just even to pay or to do whatever they needed to do to pay. So I was on the phone late last night with the hosting company. I think we got that fixed. So try again. If you're still having issues, just go ahead and contact me. Go through the support desk ticket because there's some instructions on how to log in and or reset your password. I'm going to add some new instructions there as well. A second way of trying to see to get in. Even if you don't contact me through that, go there and read those instructions first. Okay? So, with that being said, let's lay the cards. Well, it is the Nine of Swords, but it came out upside down. That's what it looks like. The Moon. The Three of Wands. Well. Well. Right there, those tell a story. Let's see if I can. Okay. The Chariot. The Six of Swords. Now, can you see those are butterflies going across that bridge of swords there? There's obviously some issue about either travel or movement or simply the idea of just going forward. Okay? The King of Pentacles. That ain't grabbing the bull by the horns. He's all doing a handstand. Okay. Showy. The Three of Pentacles. Wow. The Eight of Pentacles. Holy smokes. And the Knight of Pentacles. Now I want to show you something before I flip over that other card. See how these continue? You see the way they line up? The thread there running through it. Now, two threes, I have two threes, speak to a small but pleasant surprise, but also this is a business thing or a financial issue. I don't necessarily feel as though the main focus of this is any kind of romance. It does speak to a relationship, though. This is a business and or financial relationship. And if it's not with someone else, this is about with yourself. Okay, remember, no matter what type of relationship you find yourself in or experiencing, there is only one common denominator that goes through all of those, and that is you. You are the common denominator. Now, let me flip the card over, the deck over, and see what our advice or energy. It is the Page. Wow, I want to take a look at that's a lot of damn pentacles. See, there's the Page and then the Knight. See that? I love this deck. Absolutely love it. So, there is no timing in the tarot. All good things in their right time, divine right timing. I say this, but I'm a very impatient person, so if some of you are feeling a bit impatient, I can understand. But there's this element of movement here. We have this boat on the water with the moon. See it? Here we have a vehicle being led by a dove. Then we have this Six of Swords, this bridge that crosses from one place to the other. What I find to be most interesting is that this is a scene of winter or snow, and then suddenly we get into the summer and fall. So this might be some kind of timing issue for us. I have at least within the spread two people, perhaps a third. Remember, we've got the two threes here. We have the Knight here. Knights always bring about events. That's how they show up for me. And it's a horse, which is the ancient day equivalent of a car, which we're talking about movement. And what I feel is that there's whatever this partnership thing is, many of you have been extremely worried about moving forward with it. I don't know if this is if you're trying to get a loan, if you're trying to buy a house, if you're trying to move, if you're trying to expand, if you know, it could be any number of things. But it's really been giving you guys, I think, a bit of trepidation and a bit of worry, angst, and fear, anxiety. I feel that many of you feel as though, in effect, you've kind of been alone, quote unquote, in this. Now, like you've been building it brick by brick. Even though you're worried about it, you have still had the ability, or at least the wisdom and the foresight to just stay on path, stay on your target, focus on that. That's why this Three of Wands has come in. You have it, even though you've been worried, you don't see clearly what it is. It's bringing up all kinds of fears, all kinds of worries. You have been able to still keep stoking that fire, and that's always a good thing, because what that says is that it's something that you really want. We know that from the 9 to the 6, that gives us a third sword here. And maybe the third sword is implied in the moon card. Maybe there's been some kind of disappointment. Maybe things aren't going the way that you want them to. It's not moving, perhaps, or maybe you feel or think or don't see clearly um, how this is going to play out. Right? Sometimes when the moon comes, and do we just have a new moon? And we had a new moon in Gemini. And our full moon is going to be coming up, around the 20 something. It will be, I want to say, in Capricorn. Let me take a now. Whenever we have something, a full moon, and no, it won't, it can't be, because the sun is going to be moving. Yes, our full moon will be in Capricorn because our sun will be moving uh, into Cancer on the 21st. So there's that opposition, and sometimes that's what full moons can be about. Full moons can be about an opposition, someone being opposed against you, what you're trying to do. Um, the situation or the timing itself uh, is an opposition. There's obstacles you're trying to get over. It could also be that you yourself are opposed in terms of the way you feel and what you're working on. You're not exactly sure if what you're doing is the right thing. Sometimes this, what's coming off the card with the Nine of Swords, the Moon, and the Six of Swords, is this idea that personally for you, you just don't have any, what I'm getting is you don't have any idea what your next steps are, but you're just plodding ahead one step at a time. Okay. Let me make sure that I give you, I think it's going to be moving from Sagittarius to, yes, Sagittarius to Capricorn. So there's that opposition. Cancer oppose Capricorn. Cancer rules the home, the family, the homeland, the country, the state, the town, the city. Capricorn rules government, jobs, work. This is corporations, banks, big financial institutions, the cogs in the wheels that make things go. Okay. But it also, Capricorn rules your highest ideal. What is your highest ideal of success? It is the sign of the goat. The goat never, ever, ever stops climbing. He goes higher and higher. So this could be about social climbing. It could be about economic climbing, going from way down here to right in the middle or way at the top. But this idea here of the Six of Swords, you're coming out of, or you will be coming, not all of you, you're going to be coming out of a time where, you know what keeps coming to me? That idea that winter is coming. Um, I think many of you feel as though you've been stuck at the wall. You know what I mean? You've been stuck in the night watch. And now something is about to change for you in such a way that you're going to be going down to, I don't know, King's Landing. Remember, it was all sunshine there and kind of open fields and things of that nature. Um, there's some kind of financial change coming. Now, We have Pluto, Saturn, and the South Node in the sign of Capricorn. And that's very, very relevant. Saturn is in his ruling sign. He rules Capricorn. So Saturn may be about those hard lessons, but he's a builder. He wants you to build, and he wants you to build it properly. Okay? Down here, it's kind of like if you build it, they will come, or if you build it, it will grow. That's literally what the cards just said to me. This is moving from changing your mindset. The Six of Swords. What we see is that that's a 9, but what we see is that these butterflies, according to the Greek, represented the psyche. They believe that when a person died, their soul turned into a butterfly and then flitted away. Butterflies are what? They start out as caterpillars, as worms. They go into a chrysalis state, and then when they come out, they emerge as these beautiful winged creatures. So if you equate the butterfly to the psyche, this is about transforming your way of thinking so that you can literally just kind of fly over whatever that problem is. But it's all mental, right? It's mental. Let me see if I have two major arcana cards here. The Moon and the Chariot card. Both of them represent the sign of Cancer. Okay. The Chariot is a 7. Sevens are a moment of consideration or contemplation. They're not the 9 where things seem like they've stopped. Okay, that's what you have here. You feel as though you've been stopped in your tracks. Like maybe there's somebody against you, or, but at the same time, you can look at this to say, well, you can either get out of the way, whip out your sword, and chop the head off. Look at this like the dragon from Game of Thrones, right? Except, yay, it's a goose and it ain't going to fry you. So, but that could be what the fear is. Like maybe you're going to get burned. You see what I mean? So let me take a look here for you. Give you these 2 threes. I'm going to start with the 2 threes, a small but pleasant surprise. Yes. And then the other meaning of 2 threes. And I'm just going to throw this out just. Here it is. One of you are craving more change and excitement. I don't know where I get that. Oh, I think that's 3 threes. That's excessive flirting and cheating. Okay, so 2 threes. One of you are craving more change and excitement. Well, I don't know about, there's not a whole lot of excitement happening here in this, energetically in this spread. The Pentacles give it this slow energy. It's an earth energy. It's grounded. There's only one fire element here. The rest of this is water and air, but all the rest of it is earth. So for me, this is a change. Now, as I always say to you, when you find yourself in a situation that you don't like, change it. But I never tell you that that's going to be easy, right? It's going to be smooth, it's going to be breezy, or it's going to be fast. But something comes in. It starts, I think you have already gotten the idea, or you've gotten the news, or the message, or the opportunity has presented itself. But maybe some of you are doubting that you can do this. You're kind of stuck in that fear about what to do. Because we go from a king to a 3 of pentacles. But this is the past, present, and future. Past, present, and future with the interplay of the cards. So what I'm going to do is start with these 9 of swords. I'm going to see the 9 of swords, 3 of wands, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't look at the two court cards here. Okay? How they relate to the moon and the chariot card. And then we're going to read the meanings of the cards. I think this is something important. I know that some of my clients who on the website, Gemini clients, Gemini sons, have been kind of going through this really unsettling period in terms of business, family issues, things of that nature. I don't see anything of the Nine of Swords. It's, I think, been rather kind of unnerving a bit. Or maybe they felt, a lot of them have expressed that they felt scattered. The Three of Wands. Okay, nothing about the Three of Wands. I'm going to move to the Six of Swords now. Okay, with the moon. Here it is underneath. When the Six of Swords appears in a reading next to the moon, it may be indicating that it would be advisable to make sure of any changes you intend to make, as the full picture is not yet clear. All of the details have not yet come together, so it would be beneficial to put things on hold at this time. Wait until the timing is right. See her planting those seeds? She's tending that garden. She's doing what she's staying grounded in the reality of this is what I have to do in the meantime. I think that's very important for you. I think I skipped over the three. No, that was the Six of Swords. Let me move down to the Three of Pentacles. Wow. These cards, sometimes they just... I like it when, well, yeah, I like it when I don't have to work too hard. Who does, right? Okay, listen. The three appearing with another three card. It is an indication that hard work and some obstacles will present before completion of successful work and rewards. That's that taking that bull by the horns. Just doing it. It can also suggest that there's more than one person involved, and it suggests that there may be a period of suspended activity before future successes are brought to fruition. You're going to get some kind of message. It's going to move. It just may not be moving slow enough for you. But traditionally, when you see the Knight of Pentacles showing up, this is good news coming. And it is news that you have been waiting for a long time. Another thing about this particular card is once you see him show up in the reading, be assured that things are about to move. You see how he's coming in this night? He's walking to where you are. It's a unicorn. Yeah? He's coming with that big ass shield with that pentacle on it. Okay? So, patience, my friends. I know that's hard. Let me take a look at this Eight of Pentacles now while I'm here. Then we're going to read the meanings of the cards. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this King of Pentacles here, because he reads like an opposition person or an opposition or a situation, but it also reads like you, that you can do this. Listen, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, in effect 5 pentacles. The Eight of Pentacles with 3 other pentacles is an indication that a feeling of great satisfaction will be yours, as there will be a well-earned increase in your finances. If it appears with 4 other pentacles, it indicates an increase in finances and a feeling of great personal satisfaction. But listen, you're going to have to be ready to handle this, right? So if things are slow right now, you need to learn whatever it is you need to learn about what's about to come. So if you don't know anything about accounting, if you don't know anything about investing, if you don't know anything about 401ks or CDs, or learn. You have time. Remember, here you are, you're building this thing, and you're going to get an opportunity. You take it by the horns, you can build it brick by brick, but you also are going to have to know how to tend it, right? To make it remain prosperous, fruitful, and productive and abundant. Does it mean it's going to forever be that way? Maybe for some of you it is, you know, that you'll never have to worry again about, how you're going to pay, do X to do Y. Okay, but you have to remember that circumstances always change. And with Uranus being in Taurus, it can be very volatile. I've seen Uranus in Taurus where people will suddenly get this huge windfall, right? Just out of the blue. There's an inheritance, or they get a big loan from the bank, or their business expands, or they get a bigger, better property, right? But just as quickly as that crap can come, it can also fall. So that's the Saturn part of it. Saturn is the taskmaster. Maybe you've been struggling financially for a long, long time. Something's about to change for you, on a financial, or at least on the physical plane level, where you might be able to acquire some property or a financial reward after all this time. But you want to put in the safeguards, right? Now, you can't prepare for every eventuality, but you can be smart about it, right? So what do I want to look at? I want to take a look here at this King of Pentacles. Now, I had to get rid of my, not get rid of it, I had to take my other playing cards. They just told me they wanted a break. They didn't want to talk anymore. So I pulled this new deck out, and they're awfully slickery. I just want to look at the King of Pentacles because, as I say, I haven't read you the meanings. Before I do that, Nine of Swords. Excuse me, my throat's scratchy. This says a cruel card. It depicts sorrow so great that it leaves the martyr numb to the onslaught of oncoming pain. Fear cripples any riposte, leaving him vulnerable to swift destruction. Take heed from his paralysis. Though the situation is grave, it is your passivity that ensures your ruin. If you find yourself overwhelmed by hopelessness and despair, do not respond like this poor hapless figure. Face your fears with valor and dignity, trusting that your enemy will be overcome. For some of you, this could be somebody who may be talking about you, or I just get the sense for some of you there's somebody opposed against you in some way. But you know what I always say? There's more than one way to skin a cat. Something is about to change for you. The Moon. When the moon rises, it's as if your familiar surroundings become an eerie shadow world. The fears and sadness so repressed in your daily life become starkly apparent, and you are forced to confront your often neglected subconsciousness. This world, though fraught with wild imaginings, is somehow truer than reality, and there is much to learn from your journey through it. The shimmering stillness of your inner being is always present, but rarely traversed. And suddenly it's like this fire comes out. I think some of you have just determined, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm just going to do it. You've been fearful of it, but now I'm just going to do it. After the initial whoosh of intensity, Thoughtful maintenance is required to keep a fire burning. Painstaking placement of the kindling will nurture the flames into longevity. So too must an incipient vision be fed and sustained. Your idea is starting to catch. Do not rage into a blaze or douse yourself unnecessarily with doubt and dismay. Small victories and careful progress suggest that you are succeeding, even if you don't think you are, or even if you don't see that in the material plane right now. Here is the Chariot. And I know how that goes. I know how it feels to just feel like you're working and working and working and you don't see any gains. Being completely self-assured is a rare and glorious moment. If through careful preparation, self-discipline, and steady determination, you find yourself a victor, you have every right to be proud of your accomplishments. Direct this energy into further efforts. Have total confidence in your abilities. You have clearly demonstrated to yourself and to the world what you can achieve. Forge on, refusing to let any obstacle standing in your way. I'm telling you. This is a beautiful spread. The Six of Swords has a simple message: move on. If you have exhausted the potential of some place or circumstance, it is the time to flit away. Do not hold on to something out of maudlin nostalgia, or worse, fear of change and the unknown. Recognize the simplicity of your venture and float on towards freedom, towards change, towards adventure. And all of these pentacles just out of nowhere just crop up. If you crave mastery of your environment, there is no better card to draw than the King of Pentacles. He is the pinnacle of experience, hard work, and blunt intelligence. And as a result, he is relied upon in his community for his competence. Embody his power and ability to get things done. You do not need to wait for inspiration. You can stoke the fire within yourself. Muster all your strength and hurtle over anything that stands in your way. Yeah, you may be doing that work alone for a little while, but that's okay. After the early stages of a project, there is a surge of pleasure in realizing you've achieved some tangible level of competency. Take pride in your work, be meticulous and patient, giving credit to the noble endeavor you've chosen to undertake. Likewise, as each brick supports its brother, this is a good time to interlock your plan with other visions. Let other people's input influence your own. This is a great time to build stability and trust. Eight of Pentacles. After the first few harrowing weeks, when a project is still touch and go, it is a real pleasure to see measurable success blooming before your eyes. Take delight in what you have achieved. Steadily cultivate what you have already established so it continues to grow in meaningful ways. Pay attention to detail. Fortune has little influence at this point. Rather, your dedication and finesse will guarantee the success of your undertaking. To me, when it says fortune has little influence at this time, this means yeah, your luck is changing, but luck is a fickle mistress. She don't always last. Knight of Pentacles. The Knight is a conflicted creature. Having attained no small degree of success, he grows dependent on the tokens that have carried him safely thus far. Dreams, fantasies, visions. There's a unicorn. Then there's that shield too. He no longer sees their interconnected beauty merely their utility. He is fixated on furthering his causes. If you pull this night in a reading, know that you may need to back off a little. Take a broader view. Appreciate the magic that makes your lifestyle possible. Otherwise, you will face a I don't know what this word is, why this thing is so complicated. Otherwise, you will face a pyrrhic. I'm gonna spell it because somebody out there knows how to pronounce it. Pyrrhic. Pyrrhic victory, devoid of meaning or gratification. Take a broader view. Appreciate the magic that makes your lifestyle possible. I think, in a way, what that's saying to me is don't go crazy when things start to change. Okay? In other words, you may find yourself having enough money to do other things that you want, but don't go crazy. Take a moment to appreciate what you have already. Step back, take a broader view. What can you keep? Do you really need to get some new shit? How about you can just refurbish it? Or you can wait, you know what I mean? Because I think this right now is rather tentative. The Page of Pentacles says, when you draw the card, you have been handed a gift from the universe. This could be anything. A new job, a loan or inheritance, even a budding relationship. It could be some untapped talent within yourself. You are just beginning to realize whatever it is, it will further your reach in the material world. Use the jaunty confidence of the page to break ground on your new endeavor. There is the premise of greater wealth, security, and influence. It is a good time to be alive, so enjoy it. In other words, stop for a minute and do something good for yourself. Right? Now that you got the money, do something good for yourself. Underneath that card is the Fool. So let's look at this Fool card right quick. He represents a new beginning, striking out naively on a bold new adventure. You may be filled with unlimited optimism, a feeling in your heart that you cannot fail. This may prove misguided, and in due time, you might find your idealism tempered by painful experience. So approach with caution. Decide whether taking this risk is worth making yourself vulnerable in an unfamiliar setting. If the answer is yes, show no fear. Only those who choose to journey will ever discover new horizons. You know, like Elon Musk. Elon Musk has this vision. Many people call him arrogant. They call him brash. They also say, he had a kind of a breakdown there back a while back, but he's got this vision of life in space, and look what he's been able to create. He is a unique individual, and look at his circumstances. His mom was a single mom. He's from South Africa. You should get an opportunity to read up on his biographies. He's kind of an interesting guy. I'm going to go ahead now and take a look at, I'm sure people told him his whole life when he started with his vision, you can never do that. That'll never work. In effect, he's one person, a private individual, has taken over the space program, from the government. I mean, that's astounding to me. Now they're getting ready to, I don't know if it's them, I know Virgin Air, Sir Richard Branson, they're all moving ahead towards private space travel. Now look, I would want to be those first people that that go up. Oh no, they're talking about hotels on the International Space Station. They want to open this whole new horizon up. So I mean, and the charts of the ultra wealthy, have this really weird kind of Saturn, Jupiter, Venus conjunction aspect in their chart. These are the ultra wealthy. So I'm talking about people like Sir Richard Branson, Elon Musk, Warren Buffett, Bill Gates. I'm not talking about the wealthy. Okay, I'm talking about the ultra wealthy. Okay, they all have this odd aspect of Saturn, Venus, and Jupiter in their charts. All right, let's take a look at this King of Pentacles here. Seven of Hearts. Look, it's another 9. Look at that Queen of Diamonds. Now, to me, because that's the whole suit. The King, the Queen, the Page, and the Knight. Okay? So, things are moving. Things are doing what they're supposed to do. It's kind of jumbled up, but here it is. It starts out with the Page for some of you. Let's go to the cards. Now remember I said this could be in opposition, so some of you may be in opposition or with someone. Okay? The Seven of Hearts. It is considered, listen, a card of disagreement, usually a lover's quarrel. It frequently signifies a temporary altercation between two people who love each other. The period they spend apart will be valuable as they will both have time to think about and learn from the experience. This, because it's one of the first of the 3 cards, can sometimes be a sign that you are overly trusting and naive and you need to become more assertive and confident. Self-confidence. Money and self-value are the same thing. Here's the 9 of Swords or 9 of Spades. Traditionally, the card of disappointments. It is related in this deck to the Tower card. Consequently, it is frequently considered to be a card of total destruction, but this is only partially true. The 9 of Spades indicates a change caused by unexpected means. This could be a physical change, but it can also indicate a change in which the way the client thinks. See that? Most people fear change and will do almost anything to avoid it. Maybe this is you kind of driving off, hiding out. Don't know. Don't know. The changes brought by the 9 of Spades are inevitable and usually have a profound effect upon the future. These changes will make him or her, you or whoever, more considerate and caring towards others. But it also makes more room for new opportunities. Now remember, one of this card was, take people's opinions on board, or at least be more open to them. Right now you're building that brick. There's that Queen. And this could also still be you. Maybe you're being too hard-nosed. And thus far, maybe you got to soften your stance a little bit. The Queen. Passionate, demonstrative, and full of energy. She has an agile mind that can sum up everything at a glance. She is quick to act and has the potential to do well in business or any other field that attracts her interest. She is a good friend who constantly motivates and inspires others. She is aggressive and loud when she feels she's being hemmed in or restricted. If you are a male or you take the male role, this says you're going to meet somebody like this. Okay? Or you'll meet a strong woman who will become a valuable ally. If you are a female or take the female role, this is a sign that you have many of the traits. And you need to be more decisive, less easily hurt, and choose a worthwhile goal for yourself. I couldn't do much better than that if I wanted to. All right. Oh, wow. This is almost 44 minutes, but this is, I think, something that some of you air signs needed to hear. Now, as I say, This ain't gonna work out like that for everybody. It requires a personal reading. And the reason why I say that is because everybody has different aspects, everybody has a different story. Not everybody's going through the same story. Ready? Got your question ready? Compromise. Isn't that something? In order to create a happy outcome for this situation, you will find it necessary to compromise. Allow yourself some time to become clear about what is truly important to you. Also, take note of matters where you would be open to changing your position. Work towards an agreement where everyone wins. And that is the beauty of Venus. Venus rules both Taurus and Libra. And Venus is not just about love and beauty, but it is about harmony, and it is about right relationships. What you put in is what you're getting back. What you are getting should be equal to what you're giving out. And in order to get anywhere in life, in relationships, no matter what kind they are, you have to be willing to compromise in such a way that everybody feels like they're getting something good out of it. And if this is a business deal, I'm going to tell you how you know that the business deal, the contractual issue is good, that if nobody's happy about it, right? That means that it's equal and it's fair. You'll learn to live with it. Be open to cooperation that would allow you to get what you need while also assisting others in fulfilling their desires. Be objective about finding a balance between respecting everyone else's viewpoints while still being true to your own. That's what I have for you, air signs. That was an awesome reading. So, until next time, namaste.